wanted to do a new video. I have already made a video about dark matter here, and it didn't get much views. But this time I'm going to use hashtags. So we're going to hashtag it up. So I'm going to tell you the truth about dark matter today, the real truth about dark matter, and what's going on, and why the universe is not accelerating in expansion. It's not accelerating in its speed of expansion, and why that is an illusion. It's an illusion by dark matter, because a misunderstanding of dark matter, and why the numbers are wrong, and of all sorts of crazy shit that's going on in the world out there. But okay, so what it comes down to, and also another thing I'm going to be talking about too, is why you'll never find a dark matter particle. Okay, you'll never find it. It doesn't exist because you can't see it, because it's not made of strings. It's not made, string theory, how everything is made up of strings. Well, it's a string, it's a circle that's turned into a hook. It's compressed down on itself where it's collapsed its viewability, and it's turned into a hook instead. And so dark matter is hooks, and regular matter particles are made of strings, okay? And so you can't view a particle that's made of hooks because it's lost its dimensionality. So it's in a different dimension. It's not viewable to you. You can't see it. That's why dark matter is invisible. We know that it's there. We know that it has a mass to it, but it's made up of basically anti-regular matter, which is made of strings. So because it's not made of strings, you're not able to see it. You can't see it. It's not made of what you're made of. So you can't view it because you're a human who's made of strings. So there you go. And it's all around, and it's exponentially growing. And dark matter actually consumes regular energy forms, X-ray light, of regular visible light spectrum, ultraviolet, also all the type of waves, everything that passes through it. It's just like water. It's water that's in space, except it's 100% clear. You can't see it. And so as shit passes through it, as light particles pass through, as energy passes through it, it's actually ripping off pieces of that energy, ripping off strings, because it's hooks, like Velcro. And as it passes through, it takes off tiny, super minuscule amounts. You can't even measure it. It's so small. But it's just like Office Space. If you ever seen Office Space, you know that they said, oh, it takes fractions of a penny. It's this. Well, I'm talking fractions of a penny here. This is fractions of a fucking penny, to where you can't see it, and it actually creates an illusion of expansion, because it looks like it's getting further and further away. But what's really happening is the stuff's not getting further and further away. It's actually slowing down, but because it's slowing down, it's all the energy forms that are blasting through space are building the dark matter web of dark matter, which is everywhere. It's completely surrounding our galaxy, and the more that our stars emit light, the more that the dark matter expands and creates a counterbalance system to collapse the universe back on itself eventually. So eventually it's not expanding and getting faster out. It's an illusion to dark matter. And you'll never find a dark matter particle because it's not made of strings. It's made of hooks. Compressed, super compressed hooks. The massive dying stars, whatever the hell it got made from, however the fuck happened, somehow strings got compressed and folded in on each other to where they turn into a hook, and you can't, that's why it's not visible. That's why you can't see it. And unfortunately, our telescopes that are looking out into space and looking out into, all of space, they're all inaccurate. They're all inaccurate, and there's no way they could be accurate anymore because we can't measure how much dark matter is out there. Now, if you could think of the numbers, if you're watching this, you should try to think, maybe you could try to think of how a system to be able to measure, but I can't think of any way to do it. And the only way I can think to do it is actually just send physical satellites out into space like Voyager, and you know actual communication satellites out and send them straight out. That's really the only way you could physically measure it accurately, because unfortunately it's it's not measurable, because it's surrounding our entire galaxy, and it's rapidly expanding, and it's it's not measurable. Okay, so the thing is, it's not. This is the reason why you'll never find a dark matter particle, and this is why all the money has been spent on that is just a waste of time, just like nuclear fusion is a waste of time. And we'll do that video another day, but just know nuclear fusion is a waste of time too. If you look at the sun, what happens to suns? Let's think about the end result of what happens to a sun after it's had all this infinite amounts of mass that has gone and gone and gone and gone. What ends up happening to it? It burns the fuck out, right? You have all this huge system. The ultimate end result is that the process fizzles out, and it burns out. It loses all of its shit, turns to iron block. The fusion's all done. There's nothing left. Okay, so fusion takes energy to make a denser object, a denser material. Okay, and you can't get energy from making a denser material. You can take a denser material and break it down into its energy, but when you're making energy, you'll never get more out of it than what you put in. Okay, there's a lot being put into a sun. Okay, it's not some fucking easy system you could just keep sustained in a enclosed system. It's not that easy. Now maybe you could have a Tesla, Nikola Tesla's idea with collecting from the ether, or the energy that's flowing through us all the time, because the world is just a big battery. If you think about the particles coming down, blasting through the earth all the time, they're coming down from positive flowing to negative. It's a big battery. So opposing vortexes, and yep, that's how magnetism works. It's opposing vortexes. So that's that. Yeah, there's all sorts of crazy shit. They don't really want you to know too much about what's going on, because unfortunately our measurements are all inaccurate into deep space. But the good thing that I want to leave, I want to have some light to the situation here, because the good thing about what I'm saying here is that other planets, other star systems might not be as far away as we think they are. These systems that we see that look like they're however many X amount of light years away might not be X amount of light years away. They might be closer than what is being predicted, because of the dark matter and the expansion of the dark matter. And because what happens is, as all the stars, light, X-ray energy, and microwaves, everything that's going through it, all the types of energy that's flowing through space is passing through the dark matter. As it passes through the dark matter, like let's say it's all around a star, and as the star's shooting out its energy, bits and pieces are being ripped off by the hooks that compose the dark matter. And what it does is it rips these pieces off and converts the regular strings, which are circles, never ending, and uh, compresses them down into making more dark matter. So now it's converted the matter into dark matter. It's converted the energy forms that pass through it, tiny little bits of energy forms, and pulled the strings off, little bits of the strings, and compressed them into hooks. And so it's not visible. It's not visible to human spectrum. And so Adam Rice was wrong that the universe is expanding at an accelerated rate. It's not. The counterbalance system is dark matter and dark energy's ability. Dark matter is not made up of particle. You'll never find a dark matter particle because the strings that make up the particle are not strings. We are made of strings. All our particles that we see are made of strings. We can't see a dark matter particle because it's not made of strings. Okay? It's not in our viewable range. It's, doesn't have gravity wave functions and all sorts of other shit. So we need to understand that the system's wrong, but the good thing is that space exploration is not shut down because of this, and just because the measurements are wrong and the numbers are wrong in the system that is currently explaining the system doesn't mean that we shouldn't explore space. And we need to explore space even more now because of this, because now stuff is not as far as we might think it is because of this illusion from dark matter. Stuff might be closer than it appears. So that's a positive light about this. That's a positive good thing. But I really hope that if you're watching this, you will maybe like it and share it with someone. Show someone else who's interested in this too, interested in this field. Hopefully you're someone important who really studies dark matter or does something in the scientific community, and you understand what I'm talking about here, and you can get this knowledge passed on to other people, because it's important knowledge and it needs to be passed on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Contemplate that, think on it for a minute, and yeah, share it, like the video, subscribe to my channel. I have other videos I'm gonna be talking about other shit, and we'll talk about some more shit later, and I'll talk about fusion some more too, and I'll hashtag the fuck out of that. I've already talked about fusion and why it's bullshit, but yeah, you can look at my videos and see. Alright, well, that's really it. Hope you all have a great day, and I love you all, and I hope that everything goes well in your life, and that you just have an excellent life and enjoy every minute of it. That's it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.